Imposter syndrome is the idea that you don't deserve the success you've had. Every accomplishment is a bluff, and every cheer is a snicker. It's not just denying reality, but also denying that you could go even further in the future. But in the end, it's all just in our heads. And what better way to prove that than, say, when Yoko Shimomura, a woman now regarded as one of Japan's best composers, first stepped into her job at Capcom, she seriously didn't think she belonged there. Shimomura graduated from college as a piano major with an interest in classical music with the aim of becoming a piano teacher. She'd done a bit of composition study, but she didn't particularly see herself as a composer at the time. That said, she saw that some games companies were hiring, sent in an application since she thought it would be interesting, and ended up as a composer at Capcom. She felt like she didn't have the composition experience and believed her colleagues thought the same. Although later in her career, she was able to make use of her interest in classical music by composing detailed layered music in games like Final Fantasy XV and Kingdom Hearts. This was a point where she was having to take all of her knowledge and turn it into catchy 8-bit and 16-bit music loops. What's worse is that she was assigned to the arcade division, meaning that all of the RPGs that she wanted to work on with more of a classical vibe were out of reach. In 1993, she would eventually leave Capcom, join Square, and work on some of the most genre-defining JRPGs in modern history. But for now, she was working on Street Fighter 2. She got the job in the same way many in-house employees start working on projects. She was free, and was asked which of the current projects she'd like to compose for. She selected Street Fighter 2, a game already partway through development. At the time, Street Fighter wasn't the huge franchise it is today, since it was 2 that launched the franchise worldwide in arcades and consoles. Shimomura was requested to make theme songs based on each of the characters, whose character art was done at the time. But Shimomura wanted to expand that a bit. To make a character song, you really need to understand their psyche, but a lot of the character in these fighters is in their stages. So instead, the themes are based on both the stage and the character, giving her more points of reference to work from. The obvious thing then would be to create regional music. But Shimomura noted that the backgrounds weren't exactly real depictions of these areas, but rather cartoonish fun stereotypes. So if that's the direction for the art, why not take the same direction with the music? So we got this cool idea of what Shimomura imagined these countries' music might be like, rather than adhering too close to reality. But of course, the characters provided inspiration as well. For instance, Blanca's theme is more beast-like than specifically Brazilian.
Round 2, fight!
When asked, she often has a hard time explaining these musical decisions because they often fly in the face of musical logic. Instead, these ideas just came to her even if they seem bizarre. She describes Blanca's theme as wrong or broken, but those are the elements that make it distinct. At the time, Street Fighter 2 might not have been the sort of game she wanted to work on, and it might not have been the sort of music that she wanted to create. But looking back, it's an important part of her legacy as a composer, something even she can appreciate. Shimomura spent a lot of her early career doubting herself, but now, while she still doubts herself, she has fans to support her. If you've ever enjoyed any of her tracks, let her know, whether it be at a live concert, convention, or even just on Twitter. To learn more about her perspective on her musical history, you can read our full interview on Otaquest.com.